What I want to show you today, Vicky Sarula, is basically limits of tangent lines. Now, this is where you're going to use a lot of limit laws to understand this. Explanation is confusing at first, but once you get the hang of it, you're going to say, hey, that's not bad. Okay? So our topic today will be limits of tangents. So guys and gals, it's Noah time. Your favorite time of the day. You waited long time for this. Your dream is finally here. Here we go. I start going to teach you, first of all, the key word here is a tangent. In order for you to do this question, you gotta understand what tangent really mean. Back in grade 10 was when you first dealt with the concept of tangent lines. Let's start. Suki, what's a tangent line? A line that goes like that? Bad definition, no. Bad definition, no. Nia, what's a tangent line? A function that goes by 2. Nope. Bad definition also. Vicky, what's a tangent line? Opposite over tangent. What the heck is that? No. That's tangent. That's tan. Tangent lines is this. A line that touches the graph. Touches the graph. Here's where you gotta be careful. At exactly 1 point. Not 2, not 3, but just 1 point. Okay? That's what it is. A line that touches the graph at exactly 1 point. So in grade 10, your teacher probably drew just a simple graph. Again, I keep it simple. Okay, just draw a graph. I want you to put a dot right here for me, please. Just a dot. Take a minute. Draw the tangent line to that point. Okay. Now, tangent means it can't intersect it. It has to just touch it, not intersect. So we're gonna, if you want, use a different color pen. I'm gonna use red. A tangent means it touches at exactly 1 point, but it can't intersect the graph. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw using red. So here's my tangent line. Okay. See, notice I touch exactly at 1 point there. Right there. That is the tangent line. Tangent line. But the problem with this is this. Every one of us will have a different tangent line. It all depends on what angle do you draw this line at. Some of you will draw a different angle, say, Miss Snow, how come my line look less steep than yours? How come my line looks something? So everyone's drawing will be different. Problem now is, who has the right drawing? I can argue that this is right drawing. You can argue that yours is right drawing. We don't know who's correct. But the problem is this. The slope of the tangent line can be given by rise over run. That's the slope of the tangent line. Just a simple rise over run. Now, I'm going to make this a bit, and I'm just going to show you. Let's put a point here. I don't know what this point is. We'll call this point P. I have no idea. We'll call this graph f of x. So what we're going to do is, I don't know what point I'm starting with, so we'll call this point x. Sorry, we'll call this point A. Okay, that's my starting point. If this was A, well, the y-coordinate has to be f of A. Just common sense. Because if I use A for x, I sub it in whatever that is. It has to be f of a. Here's where every one of us will differ. I want you to put a point anywhere in your tangent line. Doesn't matter where. I'm going to put this point here. I just chose an arbitrary point. We'll call this point Q. So, problem is, again, every one of us will have a different point Q. Because the farther you go away from A, or how high slope you can go, the steepness, it changes. So we'll call this X, comma, f of X. So far so good. I didn't do anything hard. I just chose 2 points. One on the tangent and one on f of x. Write down the formula for slope for me. So we're going to say m equals to rise over run. I'll give you hints. I'll start with the run. The run is x minus a. I'm going to pause it and let you figure out what the rise is. Divyanshi, take a guess what you have on top. Good. F of x minus f of a. Now, if you're lost, let me just draw this out. Back in grade 10, you learned slope. I took the top y2 minus y1. That's correct. Okay, very simple concept. Problem with this is, let's write this down, star. This is not an accurate slope. Is not an accurate slope. Because the farther x is away from a, the farther x is away from a, the less accurate it is. Because if I have a point really, really far away, it depends on which angle you're going to use the slope. That's the problem with this method. Back in grade 10, this was okay because we just played a guessing game. Problem now is when you deal with calculus, you're going to deal with engineering. Engineers cannot make a single mistake with this. So the farther x is away, so they actually came up with a modified form of what you just did. We're going to write this down. Because the farther x is, so why don't we choose a value of x that's really, really close to a? So we're going to say lim. Oh, there's that word again, limit. Figure out what goes on the bottom. F of x minus f of a all over x minus a. What the heck goes underneath the limit? Sorry, Vicky? A approaches x, opposite way. X approaches a. Because I just said, the farther x is away from a, so why don't we take the limit as x approaches a? Because when we do that, we get our best tangent slope. Bubble this formula for me, please. Notice this is only the slope of the tangent line. I'm going to give you a question. We're going to work through this together and see how you guys do. Find of tangent line. Tangent line. For y equals to x squared at 1, 1. Find the slope of tangent line for y equals to x squared at 1, 1. I'm not going to show you how to do this. I'm going to let you have some fun on your own first, because I don't like showing you how to do everything right away. Based on my formula, I'm not going to show you anything. You are going to do the rest on your own. Try this out in about 5 minutes or so. I'll show you how to do it, and we'll see who got it right. So look what I'm going to do. I'm looking for the slope of tangent line. Right off the bat, I'm going to use the formula. Limit as x approaches a. So I go lim. X approaches, well, a really is 1. That's a. And this is called f of a. So watch what I'm going to do. I go limit as x approaches 1. Now, f of x, I'm going to just leave it the way it is. I'm not going to rush it yet. minus, well, f of a is just 1. I'm going to just sub it in slowly. Over x minus 1. If you're lost at this step, raise your hand and just say, "Mr. I'm lost. I was going to see how to do this again." Okay? Problem is, we're not done yet. Here's f of x. Kim, what is f of x? Not 1. What is f of x? Reggie, what is f of x?
0.
0? Not 0. Nope. Sorry? F of x is indeed x squared. See, look, y, another way of saying y really is f of x. F of x is x squared, so look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sub it in. Lim. As x approaches 1. Instead of writing f of x, I can write down x squared. Minus 1 over x minus 1. You can solve this on your own now. Go. AJ, you have the limit? You have the limit? Limit is... Anish, you have the limit? 2 is correct. Because we factor. This is where we use all our tricks. X plus 1, x minus 1, bada bing, bada boom. Well, my limit is 2. 2, I'm going to write a few things down. This is the slope of the tangent line. Okay. That's the slope of the tangent line. That's nothing yet. I'm going to ask you part B. This is where it's a bit more interesting. Find. Okay. You gotta look at the difference in the wording. Now I'm asking for the whole entire thing. Oh, my pen. Equation of the tangent line. So I know my slope is 2 already. Why? I just showed you why. So now I want the equation. And this goes back to grade 10 also. In grade 10, you were taught the general formula for a line. Gravir, remember the formula for a line? Y equals to? Oh, Gravir? Y equals to what? Mx plus b. Mx plus b. Okay. I know what m is already. Well, m is 2 from what I just found on top. So what we're going to do, we're going to go sub it in. Y equals to 2x plus b. But the problem is, we're missing this b. I'm going to pause it, let you figure out find the b value. Okay. I've been asking a lot of people what their b value, and they say -1. That is actually correct, but Junior, how did you get -1 for b? Sorry? Well, what did you plug in for x and y? Nope. You plug in this value right here. This is what x is. And this is what y is. So what you're going to do really is, you just plug it in. 1 equals to 2 times 1 plus b. Do not leave your answer like this and circle b equals to -1. That's not a line. I want the equation. So we rewrite it one more time. Y equals to 2x minus 1. This is your answer. That's what you should circle. Do not circle -1. That doesn't mean anything to me. What I want to see is this whole entire thing. That is the equation of the tangent line. And how we did that? Well, we started with a simple concept. I started slow. I show you how to find the slope. But the problem is the slope is not accurate unless x approaches a. And we just use that formula and get it to here. Try this one on your own. Good luck. You're not ready for it yet either. Find of the tangent line. y equals to 1 minus 2x minus 3x squared at the point -2, -7. I'm going to pause it for a second, and I'm just going to let you try it out. So I'm just going to start off slow, and then I'm going to give you a chance. A lot of you, what you did first is probably went like this. You went f of x minus -2 all over x plus 2. This basic setup. So now watch what I'm going to do. So you went 1 minus 2x minus 3x squared plus 2 over x plus 2. So what you got, I'm going to rewrite this as -3x squared minus 2x plus 3 over x plus 2, and to go lim as x approaches -2. I'm going to pause it right here, and sorry I made a boo-boo. So this, I made one tiny boo-boo. That should be f of a, so that should be not a 7, that should be 7 right here. Made one tiny boo-boo. Minus 7, that should be 7, so that should be 8. 24. Go ahead and now solve it. So to save time, I'm going to quickly factor this. That should give you x plus, so I'm going to factor this to be x minus 6, x plus 4. I'm going to divide this by -3, -3. That gives me x plus 2, -3x. Sorry, I can just go x minus 4. Nope, I can go -3x plus 4 all over x plus 2. X plus 2 cancels out. So what you're really left with is limit x approaches -2 of -3x plus 4. Okay? Which I hear is 10. Which is correct. That's only first part. The second part really is find the equation of the tangent line. Go back, now sub it in your formula. Go. Okay? See, this 10 is not an answer. 10 is just a slope. M of tangent. That's what the slope is. That's the slope of the tangent line. Now we go back and we go y equals to 10x plus b. Take a minute, find b. I've been hearing a lot of people say, Mr. Well, my b value is 13, so let's see if you're right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in x and y, which is -7 and -2. -7 equals to 10 times -2 plus b. B gives me 13. Again, if you leave your answer like that, I will deduct mark, because this is not an equation. We rewrite it in the proper format as y equals to 10x minus, plus 13. That is how we do the equation of tangent line. Problem with this, now you can hate me. A lot of you say, hey, this is pretty easy. That is one way of thinking of tangent line. But this formula, it will not be used. There's a more complex formula they want you to master. And this formula builds up on the calculus, which is going to hit next, called derivatives. It derives from this formula. So I'm going to take exactly what you just did. I'm going to modify this formula a bit. And this is where I bring you to the next level. Just when you think you're done and you master this and say, hey, this is easy, I will take you to the next level. I'm going to rewrite down the formula exactly what you just had. Okay? I've taught you m equals to lim x approaches a of f of x minus f of a all over x minus a. Problem is this, that works fine, but they will not expect you, but you You will not see this in any college or university exams because this formula is very basic. They expect you to use a more complex formula, more advanced. This formula only works for simple questions like this. When I give you complex formulas, this fails because I'm going to show you why it fails in a second. So the true formula, put a star beside this. This is star. This is your true. Simple equations, x squared and all this stuff, because it's very simple. The moment is when I get to square roots, this formula fails. So they actually came up with a new one. They say, hey, why don't I do this? Why don't I say let h equals to x minus a. Let's say let h equal to x minus a. And I go let x equals to a plus h. So what they did was, instead of writing x here, they're going to say, well, I can rewrite this as f of a plus h minus. See, they didn't touch f of a. F of a is the exact same thing. Now, instead of writing x minus a, because it's a bit too complex, they say, why don't I just replace this with h? But the problem is, since all my x's are gone, they're going to replace this with lim as h approaches 0 of this. This is the true method. This is a method you're going to start learning really, really carefully. From now on, we're going to use this method all the time. The top method is just a little training wheel on what this is all about. We're going to go back to my two questions we just did. Now we're going to use this method. So we're going to say y a, at the point 1 comma 1. At the point 1 comma 1. If you're this is going to be a bit tricky, so I'm going to show you how this is done. I'm going to erase a few things. I'm going to call this f of x. Make your life easy. I'm going to write a few things down. The best way to tackle this, formula is to break it up. If you try to use the whole formula all at once, you're going to fail. So what we're going to do, we're going to break it up nice and simple. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this up into 3 separate pieces. I want you to highlight the first part for me, please. And this goes back to what I taught you when we started the calculus, how to break things up. So you notice I'm writing it separately. I don't need to write the whole entire thing down. Find f of a plus h. Go. Forget the number 1. Don't worry about this number yet. Pretend this number is not there. Find f of a plus h right now. If f equals to x squared, find f of a plus h. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to plug in a plus h squared. Expand and simplify for me, please. Go. Expand and simplify. Again, this is where you got to use all my shortcuts I've been teaching you. Who haven't picked it on today yet? Pawin. If you expand out a plus h, what would you get?
E squared plus 2ac plus b squared.
That's correct. Okay. That's done. F of a plus equals to that. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do f of a. So I'm going to just highlight this in blue. So I'm going to tackle this next part, f of a. I'm going to write it here. Again, don't sub in any numbers yet. If you sub in numbers, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. F of a Would you agree it's just equal to a squared? That's f of a. Now, we're going to put everything together. F of a plus h minus f of a. So what the question is really asking is, I take this part right here. I minus this. So let's do this right now. So it'll be a squared plus 2ha plus h squared minus a squared over h as limit as h approaches 0. Simplify and solve for me, please. Go. I'm going to pause it, let you have a crack at it. Suki, question. Simple. I'm going to simplify now. Well, I know my a's cancel out. This is gone. So I'm left with 2ha plus h squared over h. So now I'm going to factor out an h. That gives me 2a plus h squared. Oh, sorry, plus h over h. And look what cancels out really nicely. This h is gone. So what I'm really left with is limit as h approaches 0 of 2a plus h. Agreed? So what this really becomes is limit. So my limit really is 2a because I let h be 0. So what this really becomes, well, I know a is equal to 1. So now you can go back and sub in. So I go 2 times 1, which gives me my slope, which is exactly what we found last time. Now some of you say, Mr. we did all that, why can't I just stick with my original formula? Reason why? From now on, including your quiz on Monday, this is the formula you got to learn how to master. The formula that you learned here before was just a stepping stone to figuring out what this formula is and how this works. Try this again with what I gave you last time. I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to walk around. F of x equals to 1 minus 2x minus 3x squared. At the point -2, -7. You have to use this formula to find the lim h approaches 0. F of a plus h minus f of a over h. You are forbidden from using any other formula but this formula now. My answer, we know, should be 10. That's your answer. Should be 10. Good luck. If you did it right, you will get 10. If you did it wrong, you will not get 10. I'm going to pause it, give you about 7 minutes head start. First part. I'm just going to do, again, one equation. 1 minus 2a plus h minus 3 times a plus h squared. Okay. Wherever I see it next, I'm going to put in a plus h. I'm going to use algebra skills. 1 minus 2a minus 2h. You got to be careful with this one. -3 a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. Again, I'm going to multiply it out and simplify. 1 minus 2a minus 2h minus 3a squared minus 6ah minus 3h squared. I look for things to merge together. Well, I can't merge anything together right now because that's all I can do. I'm just going to do... Okay, it's just the f of a. F of a really is 1 minus 2a minus 3a squared. I want you to merge those two equations together and put it over it together. So I'm going to merge my two equations. I'm going to get a bit messy. Minus 3a squared minus 6ah minus 3h squared minus 1 plus 2a plus 3a squared over h. Now we play the game of simplifying. Well, the 1's cancel out. 3a squares cancel out. So what I'm really left with is this. -3h squared. minus 6AH minus 2H over H. And if I factor out H on top, negative 3H minus 6A.
Give me a chart.
Nope. 6A minus 2 over H. Cancels out, and then look what happened when it cancel it out. This is gone. This is gone. So what we're left with is limit as H approaches 0 of negative 3H minus 6A minus 2. Plug in H for 0 now, and what you will be left with is the equation of the limit, which is negative 6A minus 2. I'm going to pause it, let you catch up and breathe, and write a few things down. Bubble this for me, please. So this method, what this method does is it gives you, this is the equation for slope of the tangent line. Okay, not the equation line, but just for slope of tangent line. Okay. So when you find the limit of that, of the tangent line. So now, my coordinate was negative 2, and was it 7 or negative 7? Negative 2, negative 7. When you plug in A equals to negative 2, negative 6 times negative 2 minus 2, it gives you a nice 10. That is the formula. And this is the formula I want everyone to practice using now. And this is called the actual formula. You're going to need this formula starting in chapter 3. They will drill you with this formula over and over again. The worst thing you can do, put everything in one line right away and try to figure out on your own. It's a lot of work. I like to break it up piece by piece. Makes my life a lot easier. Your work. That's it. Page. Hi. Hey, Mr. Cemento.
Sorry.
No problem. Page. 122. Numero 5. Numero 7. Sorry, I forgot 6 also. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's going to be a lot of heavy-duty formulas you're going to, and 11. Okay.
No.
Hi.
There was a review stuff today too.
Oh, I've review. I haven't had created one for you yet. Now, a few key things. I want you to, for 5 and 6, do not graph. Do not graph. Because I don't need you to graph it. I'm more interested in, can you do the basics yet? Can you find the limit at H approaches 0? Can you find the equation of the tangent line? It is all algebra work. Okay? Guys, get crack-a-lacking. And that ends your lesson for today.